Then you need the needle wire and a laptop, which comes with the device. And there you need the program for the Nanodrop. That's the ND1000 version 3.71 currently. With a double click, you open that, and we apply that, determine the DNA concentration. So we move on to nucleic acids, because DNA is made of nucleic acids. You clean the device before you do anything. That means you fold it up well. There's usually a piece of paper in between to prevent any damage to the sensor. And then we clean for the first time with regular distilled water. It just goes over the sensor. Maybe clean the sides a bit in case there are any contaminants that might get in the way. So the device first asks us for water. Also, yes, between 2 to 3 microliters of distilled water on it. Then you take a small beaker, put that in distilled water, and then you put this on the front. No need to worry if you're going with the pipette up there. Nothing happens. Just make sure it's applied without any air bubbles. Now, you see something like this? Tiny water drops, and when you close it, you can see from the side something like a tiny column of water that the top part connects with the bottom part of the device. Then press OK on the device. If it clicks, then it's working as it should. If it doesn't click, you should probably consult an instructor. Subtitles by the Amardo community. Right now the device has accepted that and knows how much coal it needs to take. Have to be in that rotation, you just press blank again, as you would do with the photometer to measure the 0 point. For us it's always water. In the meantime, I can get my tube with not so much sample in it. I can open it, then I take my cloth again or a new one. Subtitles by Stephanie Geiges. Then you add water and take your drugs and apply that to the device. I often use my left hand to stabilize the tip of my pipette to make sure it's positioned correctly. Then check again if there's any air coming. Has no air bubbles on it, so I seal it again, press down once more to possibly press out the air bubble if necessary, and then I go to measure. Now comes a warning. The warning means there's either an air bubble inside, it might not be filled properly, or there's dirt in between, or that the sample is beyond measurable concentration. We still proceed first by OK, and then it tells me that my extinction, meaning my absorption, is way too high. You learn in the first layer that the absorption should be between 0.1 and 1. or should be, ideally. Otherwise, you need to dilute further. (0.1 and 1 is or are where it ideally should be. Otherwise, one must dilute further. And that's what we're going to do by taking some of our sample and mixing it with some water. I quite like doing it 1.5 1:1.
Subtitles on behalf of ZDF.
And since it's such a small amount, people often use the back of the parafilm. It's a very smooth surface, and then you put this on top. First, boil part of the water. Yeah.
Maybe a bit more up and down to
See you next time. Bye.
Then, of course, one must remove the old sample from the device. Next, I set the pipette back to 3 microliters. And take
sound and hope as well.
We'll watch TV together next time. Then I put it back on the device.
Then we press measure again.
All cool. Go to exit to close the software TV.